The Galactic Council's emergency session began with the sound of shattering glass. Not literal glass, but the fabric of space-time itself seemed to crack and splinter across their quantum displays. Admiral Vexthor, a towering crystalline being from the prism worlds, gestured with their luminescent appendages at the horrifying data streams. "The universe is unraveling," they announced, their voice resonating through the chamber like wind through crystal caves. Reality itself appears to be rejecting our presence. The assembled representatives of over 3,000 civilizations watched in stunned silence as entire star systems disappeared into swirling vortexes of impossible colors. The quantum screens showed worlds being turned inside out, laws of physics becoming suggestions rather than rules, and the carefully cultivated order of the galaxy dissolving into pure entropy. Ambassador Rilith, a being of pure energy contained within an ancient containment suit, pulsed with agitation. This defies all logic. We spent millennia establishing universal constants, stabilizing quantum fields, and ensuring cosmic harmony. How can it all simply collapse? The answer came from an unexpected source. Junior scientist Zinra, barely out of their education pod, cleared their throat equivalent nervously. Their bioluminescent patterns flickered with anxiety as all attention turned to them. "There's something you need to see," they said, manipulating the holographic controls with trembling tentacles. "We've been monitoring all sectors affected by these chaos storms, and we found something impossible." The display shifted to a seemingly unremarkable spiral arm of the galaxy. As the chaos storms raged across space, consuming everything in their path, one small sector remained completely stable. Not just stable, but actually growing, expanding its sphere of order into the surrounding chaos. "That's Sector 3471, Ambassador Rilith noted. But that's... No, it can't be. It is," Zinra confirmed. "The human sector." The chamber erupted in a cacophony of protests, exclamations, and sounds of disbelief. Humans were considered a primitive species, barely worth monitoring. They hadn't even achieved universal consciousness or quantum harmony. They still fought among themselves, created art that didn't follow mathematical perfection, and insisted on using inefficient biological reproduction. Admiral Vexthor raised their crystalline form to its full height, sending rainbow refractions across the chamber. "Explain," they commanded. Zinra's bioluminescence pulsed with excitement now. The humans aren't just surviving the chaos, they're thriving in it. Their neural patterns, their societies, their very existence seems to be compatible with this new state of reality. While we spent millennia trying to impose order on the universe, they've evolved to embrace chaos itself. "Impossible," shouted Representative Kex of the machine worlds. "Order is the natural state of the universe. We've proven this through countless aeons of scientific advancement." "Perhaps," Zinra suggested, their patterns glowing brighter, "we've been wrong all along. What if chaos is the natural state, and we've been fighting against the universe's true nature? The humans don't try to impose order, they adapt to chaos, work with it, even use it to their advantage." Admiral Vexthor's crystalline form vibrated with deep harmonics as they processed this information. "You're suggesting we need the humans' help." "I'm suggesting more than that," Zinra replied. "I'm suggesting that humanity might be the next step in cosmic evolution. While we've been trying to freeze the universe in perfect order, they've been learning to dance with chaos itself." As if to emphasize their point, another section of the galaxy collapsed into swirling chaos on their displays. But around Earth and its colonies, reality remained stable, not through rigid order, but through a dynamic, ever-shifting balance that somehow made sense only to human minds. The council chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. The most advanced civilizations in the galaxy would have to turn to a species that still wrote poetry, fell in love, and started food fights for salvation. The universe, it seemed, had a sense of irony after all. "Send the contact delegation," Admiral Vexler finally announced, their crystalline form dimming with resignation. "But for the love of all that's orderly, make sure they understand the gravity of the situation. The fate of reality itself may depend on these chaos dancers." In the darkness of space, reality continued to unravel, while on a small blue planet, humans went about their daily lives, unknowingly holding the key to the universe's survival in their wonderfully chaotic minds. Commander Isabella Rodriguez stood at the window of Unity Station, watching the strange distortions in space that her crew had nicknamed reality ripples. The massive space station, humanity's pride and first interstellar diplomatic hub, hung in Earth's orbit like a gleaming spider web caught in sunlight. "Commander," her AI assistant chirped, "the alien delegation is approaching. Their ship. Well, it's doing something interesting to our sensors." Isabella didn't need the A's warning. She could see the alien vessel with her own eyes, or rather, she could see where it was by the way space bent around it. The ship appeared to be made of pure crystalline geometry, following laws of physics that human mathematics hadn't even theorized yet. "All personnel, first contact protocols are now in effect," she announced over the station's comm system. "Remember your training, but more importantly, remember to breathe. They're probably just as nervous as we are." The alien ship docked with impossible precision, connecting to Unity Station through what appeared to be a bridge made of solid light. Isabella straightened her uniform and headed to the diplomatic chamber, her heart pounding with equal parts excitement and apprehension. The alien delegation consisted of 3 distinct beings: Admiral Vexler, whose crystalline form towered over everyone; Scientist Zinra, whose tentacles constantly shifted in mesmerizing patterns of bioluminescence; and Ambassador Rilith, whose containment suit hummed with barely contained energy. "Commander Rodriguez," Admiral Vexler's voice resonated through the chamber, "we come seeking humanity's assistance in a matter of universal importance." Isabella noticed how the aliens kept glancing at the ordinary humans going about their duties on the station. The technician fixing a coffee machine, 2 scientists arguing over quantum equations while sharing a sandwich, a group of children on a school tour pointing excitedly at the alien visitors. "We're honored to receive you," Isabella replied diplomatically, "though I admit we're surprised. Our previous attempts at contact were firmly rejected." Zinra's tentacles twisted in what might have been embarrassment. "Circumstances have changed dramatically. The universe is experiencing a fundamental breakdown of order, a cascade of chaos that threatens all existence. All existence except yours." The briefing that followed left Isabella's head spinning. The aliens explained how reality itself was unraveling, how the careful order they'd cultivated for millions of years was dissolving into chaos. They showed her visualizations of entire galaxies being consumed by entropy storms. "And you believe we can help because," Isabella prompted. "Because you thrive in chaos," Ambassador Rillis stated. "Your species doesn't just survive disorder. You embrace it, shape it, create within it. While our civilizations sought to impose perfect order on the universe, yours learned to dance with uncertainty." Isabella couldn't help but laugh, earning startled reactions from the aliens. "I'm sorry," she said, composing herself. "It's just, we've spent our entire history feeling like we're barely keeping it together." Our scientists have been trying to understand the universe's order, our philosophers seeking life's meaning, our artists trying to make sense of it all. Exactly. Zinra's tentacles lit up with excitement. You seek to understand chaos rather than control it. You create art that isn't mathematically perfect, music that follows emotion rather than pure logic, societies that somehow function despite their contradictions. You are chaos dancers. Chaos dancers, Isabella repeated thoughtfully. I like that. But what exactly do you need from us? Admiral Vexthor's crystalline form shifted, creating a symphony of light. We need to understand how you do it, how you maintain stability in chaos, and we need your help to protect what remains of our ordered universe while we learn to adapt. Isabella looked out at the reality ripples dancing across space, then back at her station where humans went about their daily lives, somehow maintaining order within chaos without even realizing it. A technician was now teaching that curious alien about coffee, while the arguing scientists had pulled Zinra into their debate, their wild gestures and passionate disagreement seeming to delight the alien scientist. Well, Isabella said with a smile, I suppose we should start with the basics. First lesson in embracing chaos. Sometimes you just have to wing it. The alien's universal translators struggled with the idiom, but as Isabella began explaining the human concept of improvisation, she saw something remarkable. The reality ripples around the station seemed to dance in harmony with her words, as if the universe itself was finally learning to embrace its true nature. Dr. Jasmine Patel's laboratory aboard Unity Station had never been what anyone would call orderly, but today it was a perfect reflection of the universe outside. Beautiful chaos. Holographic equations floated everywhere, quantum readings scrolled across multiple screens, and in the center of it all, scientist Zinra's tentacles danced with excitement. It's not just that you adapt to chaos, Zinra exclaimed, their bioluminescence pulsing rapidly. Your brains actively generate it. Look at these neural patterns. The display showed comparative scans of human and alien brains. While alien minds showed neat, orderly patterns of thought, human neural pathways looked like abstract art, thoughts branching in unexpected directions, emotions coloring logical processes, intuition weaving through reason. We've always known our minds work differently, Jasmine said, adjusting her perpetually askew glasses. But we never imagined it could be the key to universal stability. The breakthrough had come during a routine chaos storm. While the alien scientists had attempted to calculate and control the deterioration of spacetime, Jasmine had simply worked around it. Her gut feeling about how to stabilize the affected area had succeeded, where millions of years of advanced alien science had failed. The implications are staggering. Ambassador Rileth hummed from their energy containment suit. Your species' mental chaos creates a kind of harmony with the universe's natural state. Like jazz, Jasmine said absently, then had to explain the concept of improvised music to the bewildered aliens. Their attempts to understand how deliberately unstructured sound could be pleasing led to an impromptu concert in the lab, with researchers playing everything from classical to bebop. Fascinating. Zinra's tentacles moved in rhythm with a Miles Davis recording. The music follows patterns while simultaneously breaking them, just like your thoughts, your societies, your very existence. The lab's door slid open, admitting Admiral Vexthor and Commander Rodriguez. The crystalline being's form had taken on a slightly more fluid appearance lately, as if they were unconsciously adapting to human influence. We've detected a massive chaos storm forming in the Carina sector, Isabella reported. It's larger than anything we've seen before. Jasmine pulled up the data, her mind already racing with possibilities. We can't fight this one conventionally. We need to surf it. Surf. Admiral Vexthor's crystalline form flickered with confusion. Yes, Jasmine's eyes lit up. Instead of trying to stop the chaos, we ride it. Like a wave. We need to assemble a joint team. Human chaos intuition combined with your advanced technology. The aliens watched in fascination as Jasmine began sketching out her plan, her thoughts jumping from quantum physics to surfing metaphors to musical harmonies. To their ordered minds, it seemed impossible that such scattered thinking could lead to coherent solutions. But as she explained her theory, even they could see the elegant chaos in it. Human minds didn't just resist entropy. They channeled it, shaped it, turned it into a force for creation rather than destruction. We've been thinking about chaos all wrong, Jasmine concluded. It's not the enemy of order, it's the source of evolution, creativity, life itself. The universe isn't breaking down, it's breaking through. And humanity, we're not just survivors of chaos, we're its children. As if in response to her words, the reality ripples around Unity Station began to move differently, no longer threatening to tear space apart, but instead weaving new patterns, creating something that was neither order nor chaos, but a dynamic dance between the two. The universe, it seemed, had been waiting for someone to understand its true nature. And humanity, with its beautifully chaotic minds, had finally cracked the code. The crisis came without warning. Unity Station's sensors screamed as reality twisted itself into impossible shapes. The chaos storm they detected in the Carina sector hadn't just grown, it had evolved. It's consuming entire solar systems, Isabella reported, her voice steady despite the emergency. And it's heading straight for Earth. The Joint Human-Alien Command Center erupted into activity. Alien technologies clashed and merged with human intuition as both species fought to understand this new threat. But this storm was different. It seemed to actively resist their attempts to predict or control it. The quantum harmonics are completely destabilized, Admiral Vexthor announced, their crystalline form showing stress fractures. Her containment methods are failing. Dr. Jasmine Patel stared at the readings, her mind racing through possibilities. The storm wasn't just chaos. It was intelligent chaos, as if the universe itself had developed consciousness and was testing them. The alien council members began to panic. Ambassador Relith's energy containment suit sparked dangerously as they lost control of their form. We must retreat. Abandon this sector before. No, Jasmine's voice cut through the chaos. We're looking at this wrong again. This isn't an attack. It's an invitation. An invitation to what? Extinction. Zinra's bioluminescence had faded to a dull pulse. To evolve. Jasmine pulled up the station's quantum imaging array. Look at the pattern. It's not random destruction. It's transformation. The chaos is trying to teach us something. But before she could explain further, the station's structural integrity alarms blared. Reality was beginning to unravel around them, the carefully maintained bubble of stability weakening. The humans have failed. Ambassador Relith's voice crackled with static. We must evacuate immediately. The alien delegation began rushing toward their ships, their millennia of ordered existence, driving them to flee from this ultimate chaos. But as they reached their vessels, something extraordinary happened. The human crew, instead of panicking, began to adapt. Engineers rewrote physics equations on the fly. Medical staff treated patients whose bodies occasionally phased through multiple dimensions, and maintenance crews repaired equipment that existed in several quantum states simultaneously. Isabella watched her people work, pride mixing with determination. We're not going anywhere. This is what humans do. We face the impossible and find a way through. You don't understand. Admiral Vextor's voice resonated with despair. This chaos will unmake everything we are. Maybe that's the point, Jasmine said softly, her eyes fixed on the swirling patterns of the storm. Maybe we need to be unmade to become something new. The storm engulfed Unity Station, reality bending and twisting around them. But instead of fighting it directly, the human crew began working with it, their chaotic minds somehow resonating with the universe's wild dance. As the aliens watched in horror and fascination, humanity showed them something they had never imagined possible: the ability to not just survive chaos, but to become one with it, to let it flow through them and emerge transformed. The breaking point had come, but it wasn't the end. It was a beginning. The chaos storm that engulfed Unity Station didn't destroy it. It transformed it. As reality stabilized, both humans and aliens found themselves changed. The station now existed in multiple quantum states simultaneously, yet somehow remained perfectly functional. Jasmine stood at the observation deck, watching the new patterns of space-time dance around them. Her consciousness had expanded, able to perceive multiple dimensions at once. Behind her, Admiral Vextor's crystalline form had become fluid, no longer bound by rigid geometry. We understand now. The Admiral's voice resonated across multiple frequencies. Your chaos wasn't a flaw. It was an evolutionary advantage. The universe isn't meant to be ordered or chaotic. It's meant to be both. Unity Station had become a nexus of transformation. The remaining alien delegates who had chosen to stay through the storm found their rigid forms and minds adapting, learning to embrace uncertainty while maintaining their essential nature. Zinra's bioluminescent patterns now told stories in 5-dimensional space, while Ambassador Relis' energy form danced freely between states of matter. The chaos storms weren't attacking us, Isabella realized, her perception now extending beyond normal space-time. They were preparing us. The universe is entering a new phase of existence, and humanity was meant to guide the way. Around Earth, reality had stabilized into a new kind of order, one that embraced change and uncertainty while maintaining enough structure for life to flourish. Human colonies across space became beacons of stability, teaching other species how to navigate this new universe. The Galactic Council, once the bastion of absolute order, transformed into a fluid assembly of evolving beings. They learned from humanity that strength didn't come from resisting chaos, but from dancing with it, from letting it reshape you while maintaining your core identity. We call it dynamic equilibrium. Jasmine explained to a group of newly arrived alien species seeking guidance. Like a river, always moving, always changing, yet remaining essentially itself. That's what humanity has always been. We just didn't know it was our greatest gift to the universe. The transformation spread across the galaxy, not as a wave of destruction, but as a tide of evolution. Species that adapted flourished in ways they never imagined possible. Those that clung to rigid order found themselves falling behind, until they too learned to embrace change. Unity Station became the center of a new age, not of chaos or order, but of perpetual becoming. Humans and aliens worked together, their different approaches to reality creating something greater than either could achieve alone. We are all chaos dancers now, Admiral Vextor declared, their form shimmering with newfound freedom. And the dance has only begun. In the space around them, reality continued its eternal dance, no longer threatening to unravel, but weaving new patterns of existence. Humanity had fulfilled its cosmic role not by conquering chaos, but by showing the universe how to embrace it how to evolve through it, how to become more than the sum of its parts. The shocking truth wasn't just that humans could thrive in chaos. It was that they could teach the universe itself how to transform chaos into creation. And as the stars danced around them in impossible patterns that somehow made perfect sense, every being on Unity Station knew that this wasn't an ending. It was an infinite beginning.